it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to the Board Game Garden, and welcome to a preview of this game right here. This is Flock Together. It is designed by Matt Mundy, illustrated by Andrew Bosley, and published by Sea Cow Games, who is sponsoring today's video. So a huge thank you to them. Flock Together is a cooperative game for 1 to 5 players, where players are going to be each playing as an individual chicken, an asymmetric chicken that is trying to protect their coop from predators. So there are going to be 4 different predators that everyone is going to be working together to defeat in order to, protect their coop, keep everybody safe, and all of those things. It plays in about 25 minutes per player and is ages 10 and up. Because it is a cooperative game, I always say that younger children could always play as well because you will be helping them through it. So I would say that even if your children are 7, 8, 9, I do think that this is something that they could handle along with you helping them through it. Flock Together will be going live on Kickstarter on September 12th when this video goes live, so I will have the link down below in the description so you guys can go check it out if it is something that you are interested in. I am going to be going over all of the components, how the game generally plays, so you guys can get a good feel if this is something that you would want to add to your collection. If you guys enjoy this, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button down below if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. Also comment down below if this is something that you think that you would enjoy or not. Let me know down below. I would love to have the conversation down there. But yeah, that is everything for the intro. Without further ado, let's get into this preview, shall we? All right, so getting into a quick aim of the game. I've kind of touched on this in the intro, but basically the game is a cooperative game where all players, like I said, will be a unique asymmetric chicken that you choose from. There are a ton of different little chicken character books here. There are a bunch of different ones that you can choose from. Some are slightly more difficult, some have some easier abilities, different things like that, but they are all asymmetric and they are all different in their own way. I have one here. His name is Wyatt Chirp, and he is the cutest chicken I ever did see. He has no eyes, or his eyes are covered, but he's so cute with his little top hat. And basically your chickens are going to be able to evolve or get older, get stronger, to gain some more abilities and be able to defeat the predators. So that is the aim of the game, is everyone is going to be working together in order to defeat 4 different predators. So you're going to have 3, and then you're going to have your final boss. So this one is kind of covered up until you defeated all the other 3, and then this one will reveal themselves when you've defeated the other ones. So you'll be working together, and in order to win the game, you have to defeat all 4 of the predators before the end of the 3 seasons. There's going to be spring, summer, and fall. If you do not do that, you lose. If all players die, you also lose. And if you are able to defeat all 4 of the predators by the end of the 3rd season, but some players are dead, you do not win either. Everyone has to be alive, everyone has to be good, and you have to defeat all 4 predators before the end of the 3rd season in order to win the game. So that is kind of the aim of the game. We're going to get into how the game plays, different things like that. Generally, on your turn, you will have the production phase of your turn, where basically you will either get 1 free food if you are the youngest, which is a chick. If you have aged up into the 2nd or 3rd level of your chicken, you will have a die roll, which the dice here are the funniest little dice. I will show you some B-roll of them, but they are all numbered, but in a slightly different way. The 1 is a little X, the 2 are 2 little chicken feet, the 3, the 4, and the 5 do have the numbers on them, and then the 6 is like a complete chicken face, which is the cutest thing. I really like the unique take on the dice, but you will roll 1 die. If you roll a 3 to a 6, you do get to lay an egg. So that is your production phase, and then the rest of your turn will be taking 2 different actions or 2 of the same actions. You can do either or, and you will perform those, and then it'll be the next player. That will continue until something happens, the end of the game is triggered, whether you win or you lose, and then that is the game. So that is a general overview. We're going to now get into all of the components, which we have the main board here. It is very large but very beautiful with the Andrew Bosley art on it, and it is kind of separated into a few different sections. So I will say I believe they have changed the board slightly from this. This is a prototype, so take that into consideration, but they have changed the board slightly to make the different areas of the board a little bit more prominent, but generally you have inside the coop, where this circle is, all players do start within the coop, and there are certain actions that you can do inside the coop, and there are certain actions that you can do outside the coop. So you have the coop, and then you have the outside the coop, which is broken up into one section here, two section here, 3 section here, and 4 sections here. So the board is generally 5 sections. You have 4 outside the coop and 1 inside the coop. And then you have different things on each of the sections. So each of the 4 sections outside the coop do have a predator. The final boss is in this section right here, which he's not like revealed, or they have not revealed themselves. So you kind of ignore this until you've defeated the other 3, which one is here, and one is here. They each have their own little health die here, or their health marker here. Each of the predators will have a certain amount of health that they start with, and if you are unable to defeat a predator before the next season, the predator will get stronger and stronger, which I will touch on a little bit after, but as of right now, each of them are 2 health times the amount of players. So the player count that I have right now is a 2-player game, so each of the predators, each of the 3 starting ones, start at 4. So that is that. Each of the predators also do have some sort of ability that is going to happen when you attack them. But yes, that is kind of the general setup of the board. You have the dice like I've showed you. You also have the cards up here in the top, top left-hand corner. These you can get, and they will get you some different abilities and stuff like that. You also have at the bottom here the round tracker. So this little, I don't even know what this is, like wind dial thing. That starts here, and each day is going to be every player having 1 turn. Once every player has had a turn, you've moved to the next day, oopsie, and then you move to the next day, the next day, the next day, so on and so forth until you get to the end. Once you get to the end, you move back to the start, and then that would be the start of the next season. So you go from spring to summer to fall, and like I said, if you do not defeat the predators, if people die before the end of that 3rd season, you will lose the game. There are also a few different spots here. Whenever you cross over one of these spots, you're going to do an egg exchange, which means that you can exchange any eggs that you have in your egg reservoir on your player board, which I'll get into a second. But if you have any eggs, you can exchange those for food. Food is very important for attacking, for leveling up, different things like that. And then you also will get a new weather card. So there's always going to be a weather card out on the board, whether it is spring, summer, or fall, and they will change every few turns. So most of the time it's something bad that everyone has to do, or it's like an ongoing bad thing that you have to deal with until a second or the next weather card comes up. So that is everything there. Once you get back to the start, you will be able to refresh your fire, kind of like in parks, and I will get to what the fire allows you to do when we get to the player board. You also have grubs, which grubs you can attack. Instead of attacking a predator, you can choose to attack a grub, and you have grubs within the coop and you have grubs outside the coop. So you can attack either or, depending on where you are. And we also have all of the different resources. So you have 6 different types of food resources. They all work the same. It's just giving you a little bit of a variety, just so, you know, it's fun. We have a bunch of different food. We have some rats, lizards, caterpillars, beetles, leaves, as well as seeds. And then you also have the different eggs, which the eggs are absolutely gorgeous, super heavy, super nice production. And they do have a flat bottom so they can stand up, which is very nice. So those are the different resources there. And I guess the only other thing that I have to show you is, oh, there is also the first player marker, which is like a metal egg that says flock together. Birds of a feather flock together. So that is the first player marker there. And then we also have the individual player board. So I have one over here to the left of me. And basically what it is it has a spot for the chicken book that you choose. You're going to start obviously in your chicken phase. So you're the youngest and you don't have a lot of strength, but eventually you will be able to eat food, get stronger, and level up. As you level up, you do gain more abilities. This one right now, he just has that he starts with one food, but as he gets stronger, he will have some more abilities added to him. And also right now, we only have an attack of 1. As you get stronger, your attack will go up all the way to attacking 3. But for now, we can only attack 1 because we are just a little baby chick. So that is that. You also have your meal counter on the side here. As you go up on your meal counter, when you hit certain spots, that is when you're going to be able to level up. So eating food is very important. And then at the top here, you do have your hearts, so your health. Each player does start with a different amount of health, and then your health does get stronger. You get more health as you level up. So that is that. You also have the fire token, which I mentioned. Basically on your turn, you can decide at any time to flip over your fire token, and that means that you do get an additional action on your turn. And then it refreshes at the start of every season. You have your food reservoir, which you can just add your food to. You have your egg reservoir, and then all at the bottom, which is really nice, is the different actions that you can take. There are 8 different actions that you can take. 3 of them must be taken inside the coop. 3 of them can be taken anywhere, and then 2 of them can be taken only outside the coop. So we'll get into all of the different actions that you can take on your turn. And I think that's everything for the overview of all the components as well as the aim of the game. But let's get into all of the different rules and just how the game plays. All right, so like I mentioned in the last section of the video, this is a cooperative game. It is going to start with the first player. They are going to get the first player marker, and that player is going to start their turn. This is a cooperative game, so you can always chat to the other players, kind of decide what you're going to do, what someone can do to then allow some other player to do something else, different things like that. And on your turn, like I said, if you are a chick, you will start with a production phase where you do gain 1 food. So you would just take 1 food, add it to your food reservoir, and then you would move into your 2 actions. If you did already level up your chicken to either the second level, there is a specific name for them, whether they are female or male. I will put the 2 names right here. I completely forget what they are, but it is the second level. And then once you get to the 3rd level, that is when you are a full-grown chicken. Or I guess it would be a hen if it was a female. But yes, if you are either the 2nd level or the 3rd level, you would, instead of taking a food, take one of the dice. You would then, if you rolled a 3 to a 6, I rolled a 5, you would gain an egg, and that would be added to your egg reservoir. So that would be the beginning of your turn. You would then move into your action phase, where you can perform 2 actions. They can be 2 different actions, they can be 2 of the same actions, but let's go through all of the actions now. So the first action has to be performed within the coop, and that is that you are simply laying an egg, which, if you are a chick, so the first level of your chicken, you cannot perform this action. You are a little bit too young, you cannot lay eggs yet, but if you are either the 2nd or the 3rd level, you can decide to lay an egg, place that in your egg reservoir, which eggs are important for either the egg exchange, or if one player does die, you can revive them by spending one of your eggs, which hopefully this does not happen. Someone dying is not a good thing in this game because they do have to start all over again with a new chicken. So I will get to that when we get to that action. But yes, the first action is simply just laying an egg if you are either the 2nd or 3rd level. The second action is another action that must be performed within the coop, and that is healing. So when you heal, you do have to pay 1 food. You can pay up to 3. If you are a chick, you can only pay 1 food to heal once. If you are the second level, you can pay 2 food to heal twice. And if you are the third full-size chicken, you can pay up to 3 food to heal 3 times. So whenever you do get hit by an enemy, you will have these little heart tokens that are going to flip over to the X heart side, and the healing action does allow you to pay a food and then flip over to the healed side so you are fully healed for your next battle with a predator. Next action is Brood. This is the one that I was mentioning before. If a player unfortunately does die, then this is when you can decide to revive that player. All you have to do is you would take 1 egg, put it back to the supply, and then you are going to revive that player. Unfortunately, your next turn though would not happen. You would actually have to forfeit your next turn in order to help out your teammate, which, like I said, if anyone is dead at the end of the game, you do lose, so everyone does have to be alive. So this is something that has to happen. You can't simply just forget about that player and say, we're not gonna revive you. You have to do it in order to win the game. So it's an unfortunate thing, but sometimes it does have to happen. And you will have to revive a teammate. So those are the 3 actions that you have to perform within the coop. The next few actions you can perform anywhere, and the first one is going to be move. Obviously you can move anywhere. You can move from within the coop to outside the coop. You can move outside to inside. You can move from one section outside to another section outside. But this would be in order to get to a spot that has a predator that you want to attack, in order to move from outside to inside, in order to perform actions inside the coop, different things like that. There's also different grubs inside the coop and outside the coop, so you might want to get to those certain spots in order to defeat one of those. But that is everything for that action, simply just moving. The next action that you can take, like I said, it can pre-performed anywhere, and that is simply drawing 2 cards from this deck here. These are going to be cards that are going to get you different abilities, different things that you can do to help you out. You do have a strict limit of 2 of these cards in your hand at one time, but you can decide to pick up cards and play them at the same time as like no additional action. So you can pick up cards and then decide, I want to use this one, and then I want to use this one. You can use these cards at any time. You can hold on to them for future turns, but you can decide to use them in the same turn that you pick them up from the deck with no additional actions. So the 2 that I picked up here is return 2 food tokens to the supply, then flip up 2 of your damaged health tokens to their healed side. So you're basically getting a free heal action from that. And then this one here is draw a new weather card. So this would be if you had a weather card that was really hindering what you guys wanted to accomplish on your turns and you didn't want to wait for the next card to be flipped up. So you could just use that. And whenever you do decide to use these cards, they do just go into the discard pile over here, and that would be another action that you could perform. The next action is probably the most important action of the game, and that is attacking predators. So actually it's not just attacking predators, it's both attacking predators and grubs, but I will touch on attacking grubs after. But if you decided to use an attack action on a predator, you would have to move to where that predator is. So on my turn, I could decide to use my first action to move out of the coop to the area with this predator right here. This is Salmonella, which I love his name so much. He's probably my favorite of the predators. He's a little mouse. But you can decide to move and then attack Sal. And each of the predators do have a certain thing that is going to happen. Some of them are going to require a die roll. Some of them are just something you can't do on your next turn, or something's going to happen. Each predator does have something different. Each predator also does have a different health amount. All of the ones that I have chosen are the player count times 2. So if it was a 2-player game, this would be 4. All of them do have a health of 4. But with Sal, it is basically you would take a die, you would roll the die. If you rolled a 4 to a 6, it says you would not be able to eat until the next egg exchange. So that would be Sal's. So I rolled a 2, so that would not happen, which is great. So then with that action, you could decide to attack Sal, and this will be based off of what level you are at. So if you are a chick, you only have an attack of 1. Second level, you have attack of 2. Third level, you have an attack of 3. And you do have to pay food equal to the amount that you are attacking. So if I was deciding to just attack Sal for 2, I do have my book open here that I am level 2. So I would be able to spend 2 food from my food reservoir, and I would be able to attack Sal twice. So he is currently at 4, so he would then go down to 2. And then Sal, because he is on his first level, he would only be able to counterattack 1. So I would then just flip over one of my health counters and I would eventually need to heal, but that would be my turn. And while we are on the subject of attacking and predators, I will add, if you ever get to the end of a season and you're moving into the next season, so for example, if we moved from spring to summer and Sal was not defeated, he would actually level up at the end of each season, and the predators do get stronger and stronger. So Sal would level up and he would then have 2 attack, and he would also have more health. But whatever damage you dealt to a predator in previous rounds, that would stay. So if we had already attacked him twice, and now he is 3 times the amount of players, so he would be 6, and we've already attacked him twice, so it would be -2. So Sal would then just go back up to 4, because he would be at 6, but we've already attacked him twice, so he would be at 4. And then when they do level up, they do have additional things that are going to happen. So for Sal's different level here, it says if you roll a 3 to a 4, you may not eat during the egg exchange, and if you roll a 5 to a 6, you may not heal until the egg exchange. Oh, wow, okay. So their different abilities are going to get stronger, and just overall, the predators are going to get stronger the longer that you leave them alive. So it is really important to try to defeat the predators as early on in the game as possible. I will also add for the predators, so when you do defeat a predator, there is going to be loot. So just like any boss battle kind of thing, whenever you defeat a monster, you're going to get some sort of special thing that the monster drops. So for Esmeralda, which is the funniest name, when you defeat Esmeralda, you do gain the egg stash. So this is place 3 on this card, so 3 eggs on this card. You may take or distribute to nearby players as desired. Stash is immune to predator and weather effects. So you would then gain some eggs. You could either take them all yourself or distribute them within the players nearby. But yeah, you just get some different loot for all of the predators. And also, like I mentioned, you can attack grubs. So there is either the grub pile within the coop, and there is the grub pile outside the coop. So if you're inside the coop, you can attack this pile. If you are outside the coop, you can attack this pile, and you are simply just attacking the top grub. So this one right here is a centipede, gross. And this is, they have a health of 1, so you'd simply just have to pay 1 food in order to attack them. And then this one does have a roll, so you would have to roll. And if I rolled either a 1 or a 2, my attack would miss and I would just not get this grub. But basically grubs are going to be different things that you can either use right away. So this one, for example, the centipede allows you to either put up your meal counter twice or take 3 food. You would then just discard the grub up in this top right-hand corner. Or there's some of them that are going to get you ongoing abilities. So if you would defeat that grub, you would take it and place it beside your board, and then it would get you an ongoing ability. So let me see if I can find one. So they are called permanent upgrades. So this one here is a caterpillar, and this is +1 to your egg production rolls during, your egg production. So that is a great one to have. Just on the side there. I will add that when you do unfortunately die, if your player does die or your character does die, you do lose everything. So you lose all of your permanent upgrade grubs, you lose your eggs, your food, all of the things, your progress within your levels and stuff, you lose all of that unfortunately. And then you would take away your book and then grab a new character. So you would kind of come back as a different person. So yes, that is everything for the grubs. So the next two actions are actions that can only be performed when you are outside of the coop, and these are two pretty straightforward actions. The first one is eating, and this is your main way and your only way that you're going to be able to level up your chickens. So you're going to have a certain number that you need to get to in order to level up to the second and to level up to the third. So for my chicken here, Wyatt Chirp, he needs to get to the 5th spot on the meal counter in order to level up to his second level, and if I want to get to the 3rd level, I do have to get all the way up to 10. And basically with the eat action, you are just going to take food from your food reservoir. If you are a chick, you can only do this a max of once, but if you are a 2nd level or 3rd level, you can do this twice, where you're going to pay a food and then you're going to move your meal counter up as many times as you paid food. So that is the eat action. And then the last action is to get more food, and that is the forage action. So if you are outside the coop in any of the 4 different regions outside, you will just be able to forage, which means you'll just take food and add it to your food reservoir. All right, friends, so I think that is everything for the general overview of how Flock Together plays. Like I said, you would continue this until the end of the game was triggered, whether that be that you've reached the end of the 3 seasons or you had defeated all 4 of the predators. And then if you did defeat all 4 of the predators and all of your characters were still alive, you would then win the game. If someone was dead and you did defeat all 4 of them, unfortunately you would lose. And if you did get to the end of the 3rd season and all of the predators were not defeated, you would also lose. So yes, I think that is everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing Flock Together. Again, this is up on Kickstarter. Now, if you want to go and check it out, I will have the link down below to that. And yeah, huge thank you again to Sea Cow Games for sponsoring today's video. If you guys enjoyed, please give it a big thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button down below if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. Comment down below if Flock Together is something that you think that you will be grabbing, or it's something that you are interested in. Definitely go check out the campaign. And yeah, I love you guys so, so much. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you in the next board game video. Bye, friends.